Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I will be reviewing the Grand Seiko Heritage Collection reference SBGH347 with a ice blue dial, which is a tribute to the Nantucket waterfall. I guess that must be in Japan somewhere. I will tell you a little bit about the history, just a little bit about what at least I know. Then I'll tell you about the case, bezel, dial, bracelet movement. Finally, try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start. Now, the Grand Seiko has been around for quite some time, actually. You might think, oh, it just came out. Well, the Grand Seiko watch has been around since 1960, and they've gone through many different kind of variations, but they're really one of the only, I can only think of one other watch brand that is outside of Switzerland that has made a large impact on the watch community, and that is A. Lange & Söhne, which is German. Maybe go Schuta, fine. But in Asia, the only one that has done any kind of significance is really the Grand Seiko. And they came out with their high-end version of the watches not long ago. I want to say I started seeing it within the last 5 years, around 2020. They really started to make an impact and start selling watches, not in the few $100 range, but the $1,000 range. Now their watches, this watch in particular, retails for $6,900, and that's quite high if you compare it to any other, luxury sports watch. I mean, it's mid-range. I wouldn't say it's high, but they do even make crazier watches that are above 10,000. So, and it's one of the, I can't really think of any other watch brand that's outside of Switzerland that is making high-end watches. So really, this must be Japan's crown jewel when it comes to watches. And so let's see if it rightfully so that it should be worth what they're asking for. All right. And so that's a little bit of the history. Now they have, by the way, many different collections and variations of the Grand Seiko. And by the way, you can buy these watches at a discount at jazz.com. So the retail price on this watch is $6,900, and we're selling it in the fives at jazz10.com. So quite a big discount, right? And if you're not in California, then there's no tax, so even better discount. Okay, let's start with the case. Now, this case is 37 millimeters. Now, 37 millimeters is considered a mid-size or a small. And they also make the same thing for men. Well, this could be worn by a man as well, but they make a larger size in 40 millimeter. So a lot of women can even wear this 37, or men with a smaller wrist can wear a 37. Or if they like this color and, this watch and everything they want, they could also wear it in 40. What you're looking at here is going to be 37. And so I would say there's a unisex watch can be worn by either a man or a woman. So, and the thickness of it is 13.3 millimeters, which is not a bad thickness at all. You don't want the watch too thin, and you don't want it too thick, actually. So 13.3 is just perfect. Considering that there's no complication other than just time and date, then 13.3 is okay. Now, the case length is actually one of the things that you should look out for. It's a rather small case length, 44.6, kind of in line with this being the size that it is, which is 37 millimeters, a smaller watch. And it has a lug width of 19 millimeters. That lug width means the width from lug to lug. That's where the case meets the bracelet, and the length of the bracelet. The material that they use in this is, they call it ever brilliant steel. That's right, ever brilliant steel. I guess there must be some other steels that are not as brilliant, but this is not one of them. It is ever brilliant. Now, Seiko, surprisingly, they do their materials. They actually use many different kind of materials. They use this ever brilliant steel, and I believe they even do other materials such as high intensity titanium. They even do platinum, and they even do yellow gold and rose gold. But what you're looking at here is going to be in just simply not titanium, but it's going to be in steel. Okay, that is the case. And of course, as you see from the case, I can't really say the case is so special. It has nice edges to it and nice polish to it. But it's still a pretty basic case, but it is very nice though. All right, let's look at the dial. Now, the dial, I have to say, this is definitely one of the nicer dials I've seen. In fact, a very nice dial, and it's probably what makes this watch sell so well. The dial, they call it a light blue. Some might call it ice blue or Tiffany blue, or something like that. And they say on their website it is a tribute to the Nantucket waterfall. And why is that? Well, it's meant to look like a waterfall that is in motion that has frozen in the winter. So that's why you get this ice blue, looks like falling sheets of ice. And actually, if you look carefully at it, I can see where they're coming from. It's a very beautiful dial. You don't see a lot of that. And I'm like how Grand Seiko is using things from their own culture, not taking it from like the Swiss, because they're not Swiss, they're Japanese. So they're taking inspiration from from Japanese things such as the Nantucket waterfalls, which I'm going to assume is somewhere in Japan. And they're doing so to create a watch that has some kind of element to it that retains the Japanese spirit, which is pretty darn cool because other companies do that in their own countries. For example, Audemars Piguet does it with a lot of their special edition versions, not necessarily tied to their country, but for example, tied to their ambassadors. Or Patek Philippe does it. They do these muraled paintings on their watches that are tied to, stuff of their history. But at any rate, it's pretty cool. Okay, the dial and the hands here, sort of these like sword hands, quite nice, elegant, very elegant actually. Okay, let's talk about the bracelet. Bracelet also is done quite well, and if you feel the fluidity of this bracelet, a little bit looks like an Omega bracelet to me, like a Speedmaster bracelet. Nothing wrong with that because that's also a very good bracelet. But this one is done very well, surprisingly well, very well actually. Now let's move on to the movement here. Now here's where Seiko had to, change it up a little bit. What they did here for their movement is they have a high beat movement. What does that mean? Normally, these movements move at, I think, around 27,000 hertz or something like that. And this one moves at 36,000. And what does that practically mean? It means that the second hand, instead of ticking, sweeps almost like just sweeps around continuously, even though it's an automatic watch. So there's no real skip to it. You kind of almost can't even see the motion of the second hand because it sweeps so smoothly. And I read a few things about the high beat movement. Some say it makes it more accurate. Some say it's less accurate. There's more wear and tear, less wear and tear. I'm not really sure. Okay, fine. But the point here is that it uses a novel movement that allows the second hand to sweep much more than tick, which I think is pretty cool in this day of age where pretty much everything has been thought of on watches. At least Grand Seiko came up with something slightly different, and they let you have an open case back, which is pretty cool for this price point. Okay, and they also say that the front crystal is actually dual curved sapphire. The only other watch that I know to do this is the Audemars Piguet Kodo M59, but that watch is 50,000. This watch is around 5,000. So that's quite a step up, if you ask me. All right, time to try this watch on my wrist. Now, look, as I told you, this watch is 37. I believe it's probably better for those who have a wrist size of under 7 inches. I have a wrist size larger than 7 inches, but at least you can see what it looks like on my wrist. And I think Grand Seiko is really making a splash here and doing it quite well. And their price point is quite well. The quality of their watch is quite well. And I think they're doing quite good. So look, if you want to buy this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at Tasden.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.